Hey, hockey fans and families, we've got something to tell you about NHL Sense Arena, our title sponsor. They're rolling out a monthly off-season training pack program with guided objectives for both players and goalies to help kids stay motivated and improve all summer long so they can come back ready, not rusty for next season. It all starts right now in June with the new Elite Campus Prep Training Pack, which features drills and training plans inspired by top colleges, junior teams, and elite hockey programs. And players who compete all the monthly training plans will unlock a limited edition virtual jersey and badge for their Sense Arena locker room. Plus, you'll get entered into a chance to win a special prize at the end of the month. They are always thinking of new stuff over there at Sense Arena. And remember, there's a ton inside the platform, including regular competitions and contests, 3-on-3 NHL games in VR, new training updates, of course, Dangle Pro, something we love here. We've shown you that online. But best of all, NHL Sense Arena is continuing that off-season pricing, just $2.99 for an entire year of unlimited training for both skaters and goalies with up to 4 unique user profiles. So if you've got siblings or you've got multiple kids, this is for you. Visit nhl.sensearena.com/OKPH and you'll get an additional $25 off on top of the off-season pricing. That's pretty cool. And that's basically a free month of NHL Sense Arena for our listeners. So this is something you're going to want to check out. It is a tool for your hockey player. Speaking of tools for your hockey player, let's get you into this episode of Our Kids Play Hockey. Hello, hockey friends and families. Welcome back. This is part 2 of our championship edition, Day in the Life with Hayley Scamurra, as she is now going to walk us through the Walter Cup championship round against the Ottawa Charge. If you have not done so yet, go ahead back and listen to part 1 of this series to see how they got there. But this one is wonderful and exciting. We hope you enjoy it. Let's get into that episode right now. And that advances you now to the second half of this episode to the PWHL Walter Cup Final against Ottawa, who is returning to the final for the second year in a row, right after having been defeated by Minnesota the year before. And we're going to spend some time on game 1 because this has to be one of the most dramatic games I have ever watched from top to bottom. You know, so again, we're going to kind of skip to the end of the game a little bit.
I think you have to.
Yeah. Right. All right. But the quick recap is it's 2-1 very late in the third. All right. And it looks like this is over. Right. We're in the last minute of the game. Ottawa's playing great. You guys have you're doing what you can, but it's tight. Times are winding down. And then Laura Stacey gets, well, not crushed, but something happens and she's on the ice. And again, on the broadcast, Hayley, I mean, she's in pain. She is writhing in pain.
Yes.
I don't know if we can discuss what happened. I'm not necessarily asking, but she's hurting. All right.
Yes.
To the point that they're not showing her on the broadcast. They're kind of zoomed out. Right. So we get to that moment. I don't want to reveal the ending yet, but let's get to this. There's very little time left. I think it's like less than a minute now. All right. And one of your top players is extreme pain, married to another player on your team, which is a unique thing, right? There's that aspect on it. And she goes off the ice. Where are you at mentally as a team at that point?
I think everyone was fired up. I think we were all just ready to do anything it took to find a way to score, but we weren't panicking or anything. Like there was no panic. Like obviously there was concern for Stacey, wanting her to be okay, but we're like, we have to do this for her. Like we have to find a way to tie this game up. And you could just tell Pooh was on a mission. She was ready to do what needed to be done.
Right.
And she kind of led the offense in that sense to get down because there was only 20 seconds left, maybe.
Nothing. I mean, it's like the game's over. That's how it looks at this point.
Yeah. And so she kind of led the charge into the zone, and then she went and got the puck herself to get it out in front of the net. And then Nicole Gossick followed it up, and we didn't know if the horn had gone for the period to end or if it was the horn for the goal. So we're all like looking around, making sure. It was unbelievable.
Everyone watching knew it was the goal.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to say this: time of the goal, 1957 in the third period.
Yeah.
All right. And just to echo you, there was this long break from her being injured. Like it wasn't a quick thing. It was several minutes, like 7 or 8 minutes before the gameplay started. But you could see it when you lined up, the team lined up. There was a determination of we've got the time we've got. We're going to have to do something. And boy, did you do something. We shouldn't not talk about Desbiens because there's shots here that were turned away as well at this point. So Gosling scores, Poulin sets it up. They have Marie Murphy here with an assist on that too.
Yes.
And like now you're going to overtime. What a shift. I mean, my goodness. It goes from a sure thing that they're going to lose game one to now they're forced in overtime. I can't even imagine what Ottawa is feeling because it's like it's not exactly that there were missed coverages on this goal. It was just Pooh did what Pooh did. All right. And she put the puck in front of the net. Again, broadcast. You didn't get to watch it. One of the things I remember from the broadcast is you talked about how cool Pooh is under pressure. Kept going to your trainer to back and forth to the bench, obviously asking about Laura. Right. I would say she looked as ice cold as she always does. But you could feel the concern. Right. And it's like I'd say dramatic because they're married. I mean, there's this like building up here. This is not something you see every day, right? It's like you're the captain of the team, captain of Team Canada. Your wife has been hurt. It's like you're going to overtime. Your emotions are in the washer and dryer, going all over the place. And all of a sudden, it's like, look, we got to go out there and play. All right. And why don't you take us through the 2 minutes and 29 seconds that ensued after that, if you can remember?
I honestly can't really remember. Wait.
We had a surprise visit.
Abby's
insert video here. Insert video.
No, let me, if I may, Haley. Sorry, I'll set you up a little bit. All right,
please.
We get to the overtime. We're sure Stacey's done, not just for the game. Like this is like
I know
she's done for the series. She's hurt.
Right.
Then you see her warming up at the start of overtime, and everyone. I'm going to say it, gang. Cover your kids' ears. Everyone went, holy shit. What are you doing? And we're even wondering, like, is this for show? Like is this just to for show to pump the team up? It wasn't for show because Rock's on the ice. Stacey passes the puck. Throws it in front of the net. Rock puts it in, and you win the game. Like miraculous. I mean, can you even begin to tell us what that was like?
I mean, just seeing her on the ice, because so when she was taken down the tunnel, she's on the opposite side of the rink. So none of us could see her or knew what was going on. So poor, we're trying to find out and didn't have any information based on what we had seen, did not think she was showing up in that game. And so then we get on the ice and we see her freaking ripping laps, being her normal self. I was like, oh, thank goodness. Like our med staff is incredible. They did some magic there. And she was able to go, and you could just tell, like, our whole team, it felt like we knew we were winning the game. We're like, you score with 2 seconds left, we're winning this game. And I believe that was the one where Maggie shot it from the point, and I think it hit Abby in the face.
It did.
And went in, which was just incredible. Like,
it was a funny
let's
celebration.
Go, find a way, like whatever works. And and it was nice to kind of finish that out quicker as well.
I feel the longer that goes, it actually swings back the other way. That's one of those momentum things.
So that was massive, and it was just incredible. It was such a great win.
So listen, you win game one in dramatic fashion. And I actually think that one of the dangerous side effects of that is you can easily get into this, well, we're destined to win. Somebody wants us to win, because this is not what happens. And look, there's part of that feels good, but you can't get conceited with it. You can't let that get too much in your head to the point that you can't think. So we arrive 2 days later at game two, which you love overtime. This team loves overtime. And again, first 2 periods, pretty even. Like the game was tied for a while. You get into overtime. This one goes a little bit longer. All right. Maggie got the game winners, assisted by Poulin and Rock. Again, a little bit of a simpler game. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't as exciting as the first game, but what it gives you now is this stranglehold on the series, right? And again, got to say this again. If either one of these games goes an inch the other way, you're in the hole. Ottawa's on the way of clinching the series. But you win game two. Do you remember anything about game two, or just after game two? You're one away. Like, what is that process like? Because it's so close, you can taste it now.
I mean, game two was incredible. We have 2 defensemen who score and show up big for us in that game, which was amazing. Yeah, I don't remember too many other details from that game, but winning that game, it's like, oh my gosh, like you kind of start visualizing like we win the next game. Walter's in the rink.
Right.
Like that's
Right.
crazy. Like that's so exciting. But we know the last game is gonna be hard because they're gonna play desperate and things like that. And so we knew, but we also fully believed we could have closed it out in game three. Um, but I mean well, we can talk about
We'll
that
get into
soon, I
it. Yeah,
guess.
yeah. No,
Yeah.
like it's not the game two's a Passover game, right? It was an exciting game anytime you go
Yeah.
overtime.
Yeah.
But it really does set up this game three. And again, I'm going to do a little bit of setup here too. You're 2-0. It's looking
Mhm.
like a very sure thing. Everyone knows the last game's the hardest to win. The one question I want to ask before we get into these games is the series now switches from Montreal to Ottawa. All right. Obviously, every fan of a team wants their team to win at home, right? Is there any thought of that from a player perspective? Not like, hey, we should wait and win at home. I know nobody thinks that. But does that thought cross your mind of like, we're going to go, now we got to go win in Ottawa? How does that play into it? Or does it not play into it in any way at all?
Not really, I don't think. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, in an ideal world, you would want to win at home, but then, by saying that, we would have to take it to game 5, which
Right.
none of us wanted to do.
No,
Like, we
no.
wanted to close that out immediately.
Right.
So, and honestly, Ottawa is so close to Montreal as well. So we had so many fans. Like,
Right.
truly, they said they were booing. I'm like, I didn't hear a boo. I heard cheers
Right.
for Montreal when we were there. Like, our fans travel well, and we felt the love, we felt the support, and it was a great atmosphere. Like, they played at, for those that don't know, they played at Canadian Tire Center, which is where the Ottawa Senators play out of. So there was
Right.
a lot more capacity. So game 1 was a record, or game 1 at their rink was a record for playoffs in the PWHL for
That's awesome.
attendance.
Yeah.
So it was really, really loud and fun and just incredible.
And small shout out to the people in Ottawa real quick. I just want to say this, Mike, because they had the Ottawa Charge logo on the ice. And I, in years past, it would have just been the Sens logo. Like, they went out of their way to do that. I think we should give them a shout out for that. All right. I appreciate that. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, no, exactly. Well, they just show the respect of where they are in the league, right? And that this is their building as well, and this is something that they are rallying around. And I think that, to Hayley's point, I think when you get to these, these big arenas and at college and Olympics and pros, like, I don't think pro athletes, because I know coaches don't. I mean, they don't hear boos; they just hear energy. Like, so if that energy is going against you or for you, I get the, like, maybe now the Montreal team's feeling a little bit at, like, but maybe they don't want to be home, right? Because they're hearing a lot of negative energy. Like, they're hearing the shoot and all this other energy is. But I think when you're in a big arena like that, in a big stadium, in a big game, the boos, like you said, like, I don't even know what they were saying. All I know is that it was loud, and it was fun, and I was energized. I think you hear an interview that Henrik Lundqvist, and he talks about that. He's like, I don't know, I'm going to Montreal, it's just energy. Like, I don't know if they're booing me or happy for me or what. I think that's a really you can take that and embrace it. Like, if you're booing me, whatever. I just love hearing that somebody's out here cheering for us in a positive or negative. It's a great thing.
One of the things I tell my players, and Haley, you had the time we interviewed them, was we were in a hostile environment, and I told them in the locker room, like, one day no one's going to boo you. One day no one's going to cheer you. Like, it's all cheers if you want it to be. Right? It's a response.
Right.
Someone cares enough to hate you, right? Like, it's like, or to root against you. It's a privilege, right? And I'm saying that to our audience, especially the kids listening, because as a kid, that can actually be a little intimidating. Even your own fans can be intimidating.
For sure.
And what I try and say is that, hey, listen, someone's putting energy, Mike, to your word, into you and your team. And that is a massive privilege, right? So you're playing in a major world championship here. You played in a world championship, literally.
Yeah.
There's a lot of energy around that. All right. All right, game 3, first game.
Plus, when you're not close to games, you got your family probably traveling too, watching, right? And there's some cheers in there, so you're good. It's a close enough. It's a great close enough matchup. But how close was it, right? I mean,
like a 2-hour drive.
Yeah, commute.
That's crazy, right? So, I mean, there's no really reason why there couldn't be. There's obviously you guys have a great following and people enjoy making the trip and supporting your team. So, all that kind of stuff's great. And I think you just look around and be like, listen, I just love back to this building. Like you said, it's just a record-breaking attendance record again.
Well, I'll also say the broadcast kept showing this crazy guy with a beard in a Montreal jacket every single. He's just screaming. Obviously, big shout out to Nick, Hayley's boyfriend here, because he found a way to be on every broadcast. They just kept finding him.
The camera always finds him. He's always giving the energy that they need. It's so funny. I was actually asked about him at exit interviews. Montreal.
Oh, really? Yeah. That's great.
You're gonna have to tell us that story, but I'll tell you, big shout out to Nick for being on every broadcast. But talk about bringing the energy. I mean it. Like I sent Hayley a picture, I think, after the first game of the playoffs of, do you know this man? like all right, let's get to game 3 of the final. All right, it's an elimination game. You said it. Walter's in the house. I want everybody to understand. We've been talking about how razor thin these games are. Check out these stats: no goals in the first and second period, shots. Montreal 28, Ottawa 28. Power play 0 for 3, 0 for 3. This is razor thin. Okay. First goal, which we're going to talk about for a little bit, came at 7:32 of the third period. It says here that a Hayley Scamurra scored that goal, assisted by Maureen Murphy. Hayley, it was a great goal. It was an absolute Scamurra type goal. Why don't you walk us through it and the decision making on it, because we talked in an episode about your placement and timing, and this was the personification of that.
We had just been on the power play, and so it was like finishing up, and I remember there was a puck in the neutral zone, and I decided to carry it in and try to keep possession instead of just dumping it in. I felt like I had enough energy to keep going, so I enter in the middle of the zone. I cross the blue line. I kick it out to Murph on the wing, and then I drive the net, and I kind of hit the defender a little bit to kind of interfere slightly, and because I knew Murph would have time to kind of come in and get a shot off maybe, and she did. I think it just missed the net. It honestly might have hit me. I don't even know, but I was able to kind of track it, and it hit the boards and came out perfectly right to me, and I was like, boop, hit it right in. I was just in shock, so excited. I actually got hit back during my celebration by my USA teammate, actually. So that was kind of funny to watch back, because I didn't know how I ended up on the ground during the celebration.
Yeah, you got knocked out.
I had no recollection of being hit. And I watch it back. I was like, what the heck? We were just so excited. Oh my gosh. I will never forget that. Beyond excited.
I'm going to tell you this because I'm a host on the show, and I'm sitting here with you, and it's very rare that I get to talk to a professional player about what was going through my mind. But to your point, you got that puck in the neutral zone. And I want you to understand exactly what I was thinking, because it's going to make you laugh, right?
Okay.
I saw you make the decision to skate with it.
Yeah.
And I remember you talking about a few episodes ago of, I'm more comfortable now skating with that puck. I used to just throw it in. And I saw you look up, read the play, and you just go in, right? So that was the first thought I have. It's she said she was going to do this. All right. Then you're in the zone. You make a brilliant pass to the player that has found the open ice. Another thing we have talked about, right? You drive the net. She shot, and I watched this thing ricochet off, and I'm watching, Phillips. And you can do on the TV when you're watching, you can do the math in your head of, this is either going to be the greatest save she's ever made, or Hayley's got an open net.
Yeah.
Right. And you said you did a little boop, but I mean, you really hammered that puck into the net. I think that was more of a sorry. But man, it came right on your stick, and I went nuts. Everybody at the house went nuts. Because it was just such a great team goal. But again, we talk about manifestation. These are things you said you were going to do. You made the decision to go in. You made a great pass. You went to the open ice yourself. Again, maybe a little luck on the redirection. We didn't know if she actually meant to do that or not.
Yeah.
And I guess we'll never know. we'll just say it that way.
Yeah.
And again, before we get to what happened after, one of the greatest pictures of you I've ever seen is you celebrating with your teammates. I hope you frame that. All right. Because it was one of the coolest pictures I've seen of you yet. Just in, like you said, I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Amazing. All right. So any final thoughts on your goal before I move forward? Because it was a beautiful goal.
No, it was just so exciting. I think just the energy I felt going to the bench and seeing how excited everyone was, I was just like, oh my gosh, like we've got this. Like, let's keep
Right.
going. Like, come on, everyone. So
Right. So now,
Now, are your teammates at that point? Are they jealous that you're wearing your sport bubble in that
never.
situation?
Uh-uh.
wow.
You get the best. You're getting the best. The best visuals out there for everybody. With the pictures, it's great to get to see. Really who the
Yeah.
athlete is.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
someone who doesn't go on camera that much, Hayley, you're prone for the camera, just so you know.
Yeah.
All right, so let's keep this game going. Time now is winding down.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously everyone here who listens to this show is like, well, we really hope this game ends with Hayley Scamurra getting the game-winning goal in the Walter Cup Finals. And time keeps winding down and winding down. And it really does look like Montreal has control of this game. But the hockey gods are cruel, and the hockey gods believe in karma. And you broke Ottawa's heart in that first game.
Yeah.
So the hockey gods demand a response. And that's what happens. Now, let's give all the credit to Ottawa, obviously.
Yeah.
Hemp scores 14:30 in the third.
Yeah.
Tie game, right? And it sure looks like we're going to overtime, a third overtime in a row. And then great player Rebecca Leslie puts that puck in with just under a minute left in the game to give the Charge the lead. From a viewer point, I didn't feel like Montreal let up. I thought the goals were opportunistic in the sense of, there were situations that allowed them to create those opportunities for themselves. But walk us through it. I mean, it's heartbreak. It was heartbreaking from a Victoire stance.
Yeah, I think I felt we were gripping our sticks a little tight, honestly, after the goal. I think we were excited that, I think we felt the excitement of being able to win it, and I think there was moments where I thought we were playing a little bit scared or on our heels a little bit. So I think it was a good learning experience for us going into that game 4 to then kind of turn the tides and not act that way when we had the lead. Not to foreshadow, but
we know how
it was yeah, true. I guess it was it was definitely frustrating. I was envisioning it, I was seeing it, us winning that game. And so it was definitely, when they tied it up, I was like, okay, all good, we'll keep going, no worries. And then they got the second one, and I was like, shoot, all right, well, might not be our game today. But I mean, like you said, I think they were good goals. The rebounds went perfectly onto their sticks. It happens. I didn't really think it was any fault of anyone's. I think, I think we just got maybe a little too excited, maybe, and we needed to kind of settle back in and keep playing aggressive. And it just didn't go our way that game, and that was okay.
Well, I'll tell you this. Like I said, it's not. I don't like to call it luck. It was just opportunistic.
Yeah.
The puck was right where it needed to be. And look, the Victoire had those too. I mean, look at the overtime in the first game.
Exactly.
This is part of the game. This is part of that razor thin situation. On your goal, we could make, if you don't go left, if you go right instead of left there, you don't get a goal. So pretty incredible. I do like that you brought up, we started to feel it. All right. Because it's impossible not to. It's just almost virtually impossible. When you're up by a goal late in the game, you can taste it. Right.
Yeah.
But I do think, and you kind of alluded to this, Hayley, before we get to the last game, this became a massive learning because you had it and then you didn't. And then you feel the opposite of, oh no. Right. And that it's not fear. Fear is not the right word. That loss puts you in a totally different mindset for this final game. Right. Can you talk about that for a minute? Because it must have been, again, devastating, but also you said, good, but it hurts. It hurts when you lose like that.
It was a different kind of loss. I agree. I think it's like you said, it's you tasted it and then all of a sudden you lose it. It's oh, dang it, we have to play another game for this. We don't want it to go to a game 5. We want to win the game 4. And so I think it was interesting. So it was definitely really sad. That was a harder loss, I would say. But again, kind of have to have a quick memory loss on that one and let it go. And I think looking back, I think it did end up helping us in that game 4 to kind of remember what it was like and remember what not to do in a sense. But yeah, it was definitely a tough one.
I do want to give a quick shout out before we get to the final game to the broadcast crew, because it was during this game that you scored in.
Yeah.
Earlier in the game, I'm looking at the screen, and there's an Our Kids Play Hockey a social media post on the screen talking about you and our turn episode, or Net for Presence episode. So I want to just huge shout out to them for supporting our show, supporting you, and then obviously manifesting your goal in that game. I wish they put it back up after your goal a couple times, so you could have got a couple more there. But thank you for that. And then look, this game just shows you, again, inches away, centimeters away from winning this championship, and it can all be taken away. One of the best quotes I ever heard was, winning is not your friend. All right, winning doesn't owe you anything. It will hurt you. It will fight you. Right? If you want to win, you've got to capture it and win it. It's not going to do you any favors. And I think this game 3 showcased that. Yeah. Right? Winning is hard. It's really freaking hard to the point people don't understand it. Now we've got 3 games in. They're all 1-goal games, razor thin. All right. Another theme that we're saying, I'm building up the final game here, is one thing I did notice is that Desbiens is getting better and better and better as the games are going on. Even though you lost this game, she was huge in this game. All right. And you're starting to see her kind of get into this zone of not just championship level, but, Hall of Fame level goaltending in a final. Yeah. All right. Yeah. That's one thing. All right. Now we head into game 4. I want to remind everybody, it's a 5-game series. So, Ottawa winning game 3 makes this a lot tighter than if it was a 3-0 lead in the NHL, right? I'm just giving the comparison. They win this game, you're going game 5. Yeah. All right. It's dangerous. It's a dangerous situation because they'll have all the momentum. You'll have the home ice advantage. But now this game is really important. All right. They're all important.
Right.
Stats before we get into the final. Montreal was outshot in this game, 23-16.
In the final game?
Yeah. I bet you didn't know that. All right. Third period, Montreal had 4 shots on net. All right. Montreal.
Were they outscored?
Huh? Well, we'll get.
Were they outscored? That's all that matters.
Well, at the end of the day, I'm building this up. All right. Power play opportunities. Montreal had 0 power plays. Ottawa had 3 power plays in this game. Haley, you saw a few of those. Final score in the game. Montreal wins the Walter Cup Championship 4-0. A dominant score. All right. 3 of the 4 goals coming in the third period on 4 shots. Talk about razor thin. Yeah. I'm also going to say this too, Haley, before we go into it. Again, shout out to Desbiens. Unbelievable performance in this game. Shout out to win. Again, she just got better. And how many shots that said she took? I mean, it was incredible. 23 for 23 on saves. You particularly in this game, every time I looked up, you're on the ice. Big moments, penalty kills, big faceoffs, end of the game. I mean, you were really activated in this game, and it was obvious. All right. 2 shots on net, not your best faceoff night, but defensively, you were everywhere. Right. We can talk about that too, about after faceoffs. Defensively, you were not a liability. Yeah. All right. Before we get into the elation of the win, talk to me about the game itself and how that game went.
I mean, it's funny that you mentioned that with the shots, because it didn't really feel that way, honestly. Like, I didn't really feel that it was that drastic of a shot difference. Like, I felt like we still had control of the game. I felt like we didn't let up too many chances, but when we did, like you said, Ann was just solid. Like, she had been all playoff series, but like in that game in particular, she was even like an extra level. I felt like just locked in. And, with our team, I just think we did so much better when we did get that first goal. Like, we kept playing aggressive. We kept, pushing the pace and found ways to just capitalize on less chances. We were more efficient, if you will. We followed the Montreal Canadiens path, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's such an interesting thing too. When you look at, like, a lot of teams value shots on net as a stat that should be like looked at maybe so much differently, right? Because it's the quality of what you're shooting and when. Like, so yeah, sure, you could get over and just dump pucks on net, but what you're doing is when you're putting pucks on net, you're actually giving up possession of the puck, right? So I think the whole idea that, well, can you maintain possession and pick your spots better? Obviously, that's what you guys ultimately did. I know, but I see the argument, I think, at the youth hockey level is shoot, as many shots as you can, because it's just your percentages are going to go up just based off of the fact that the chance at net. But I think when you get to a level where listen, I could take 1,000,000 shots from the point, there ain't going in. Like, it's just not going to get through. Like, it's just really, really hard to score goals at the professional hockey level. I think that's where, I think those stats really start becoming much more apparent. I was just talking about, and diving in and digging in and looking. I know, people at home that, follow, higher level hockey and seeing like what that scatter shot looks like, where those shots are coming from, what time of the game are they coming from. I think those are important pieces to really tell the story. But listen, 3 goals in the third period, in a tight matchup is that is where momentum is really hard to catch, right? Because you have to at some point feel like after goal 2, just like you felt after goal 1, like, oh, we got this is the now. What do you feel like after goal 2? And feel after now at 4-3, now it's 3-0 third period.
Goal 2 was a jailbreak, right?
Yes, it was. Yeah, I think
goal 2 was a jailbreak goal.
Watching Abby go down, like for that jailbreak goal, as soon as I saw her skating down the ice, I go, she's doing something. Like I think the whole bench could just feel it. Like she was ready to just go score. Like she saw that it was a forward playing D. She's like, I got this. And she just, when she scored that goal, I was like, we've got this game. We're winning. Like we are winning this game. Yes. Like our whole team felt it. Like it was just incredible. And then I feel like that's when we just really kept putting the pressure on. Cause it was funny. We were maybe a little, frantic at times, right? And so we're on the bench, it's a TV timeout, and Corey's like, all right, guys, I've told you to settle down about 1,000,000 times. It's not working. What will work to get you all to just like settle? Like what word's gonna work? And we're all like looking at each other. We're like, how are we gonna pick what word? Like, I don't know. And our teammate Lena Youngblom, she had like a speech like at our off ice warm-ups before the game. And she meant to say today is the day. And she said, today is today. And we all just started cracking up. And so Stacey's on the bench and she goes, today. And so Corey goes, okay, today. And so it kind of got everyone to just like laugh and like relax. And I thought we played really well after that. I don't remember after which goal that was, to be honest. It could have been after the second one, but anyway, I think it really helped the team chill.
And that's the coach's job, right? It could be 7-0 with a minute left in the game, and you're still coaching. You're like, okay, we got to still play. We got to still play. Like, and just that, it's so hard in a game. When was that? When was the jailbreak goal? How much time was left in the period for the third goal? It was
9:58 in the third. So I should say that the game was 1-0 Montreal for a while. They scored early in the second. And then it just kind of stayed like that. Like not, I don't want to say not much was going on. Obviously hockey was being played, but the score was stagnant for a while. But 9:58 in the third, Rock unassisted, shorthanded.
Yeah. So think about it, 9:58 is an eternity. Like it's still so much time left in the game. So it's like, everybody's feeling it. Right. But I'm sure the staff is on like, this, just like you said, all of a sudden at the blink of an eye, go the other way. And all of a sudden now you're on the field. So it really does take so much. It's almost like that's really where you get the coach, right? That's really where you get to get in there. Okay, let's see if I can find a way to keep the energy, but to harness it better and stay focused on what's at hand.
Yeah, I imagine, Hayley, too, there's not too much hockey coaching going on now at this point, right? It's like you said, it's just managing the bench and managing the energy and managing the lines. If you have to coach hockey at this point in the game, something's wrong. Right? But let's keep going here. So Rock's got both goals now at this point. It's 2-0, which is a positive place to be in, but it's one you can't let your guard down in. And then at 13:54, Maggie gets that third goal. It's 3-0. And I'll tell you what I started to see at this point was that it wasn't that Ottawa was slowing down. Montreal seemed to be elevating by the second. It was like a critical mass was forming. And that's why I think, like, when we say 3 goals on 4 shots, it's so tough to explain to people who haven't played or haven't been in the situation, but the confidence, it's like a nuclear reactor. It just grows and grows and grows and grows. And like, you can do almost nothing on. And then funny thing about Lundblom is She got that tattooed on herself, didn't she? That today is today with the Walter Cup. I think I saw that today, that she got the tattoo of today is today. And she ends up scoring at 15:44. Now the score is 4-0. Okay. So it is safe to say you're going to win the game at that point. Not that you got to stop playing, but you all know what you have to do.
Yep.
So I want to pause here before we get to the ending. All right. In the Olympics, didn't have this luxury.
No.
Right? So in the Olympics, it's in overtime. It's terrifying for the viewer.
Yeah.
You've got to play your game. I imagine that these are complete opposite situations. Am I right in that? Like, what was the you talked to us about the Olympic gold medal scenario. What's this like up 4-0 with 4 minutes left?
This was nicer in a way. Yeah. It was just like the whole time everyone's just cheesing, like ear to ear, like just so excited. But like I also was very motivated to keep playing really well, like blocking shots, because like I wanted Ann to get that shutout.
Yeah.
And I was telling everyone, I'm like, let's lock in. Like, don't give them anything. Like, I don't want them to have a single goal. Like, we're helping Ann here. Like, she's been amazing. And so I was really proud of our team. Like, everyone was laying their bodies on the line, blocking shots. It's 4-0. Like, there's a minute or two left, and we're still doing those kinds of things. And I mean, again, that's just the kind of team that we are and that we built for the whole season. And it really was on display in the last few minutes of that game.
Well, your coach kept putting you out there. And I'll tell you what, it was noticeable. All right. It was like, look, we need Hayley out there. Like it was obvious that was what was happening. And I'll say too, to the audience listening, I always like to give these actionable items. Notice how quickly Hayley mentioned how the win actually changed. So it went from winning the Walter Cup to, hey, let's preserve this shutout, because instinctively you as athletes understand okay, we have to change the win right now or we might get complacent. Not that, you know what I'm trying to say? Not that you would get complacent, but it's like, no, we have to find the reason to continue to be at the most elite level. And I was going to say too, joking, like Desbiens the only one that could not probably enjoy any of this. Because she might not say that, but she wants to end with a 0 on the board too.
For sure.
So, and she made some big saves. I mean, because look, Ottawa pulled their goalie. They did everything they could to try and get themselves back in the game. But this was for the victoire. And the clock winds down. It hits 0. And then everyone listens to this show, what they want to see is your team completely embrace each other, celebrate. Yeah. I mean, there's some amazing photographs of these moments, not to mention the video. Walk us through it, Hayley. You're a Walter Cup champion in that last second.
Just incredible. I mean, having like 5-game series like this, it's definitely a different beast. And so to finally be able to like hoist that trophy at the end had some extra meaning, extra excitement, extra just everything. And for everything that we battled through for the playoffs, for the season, like for the whole season, we didn't have our full team except for 5 games.
Wow.
That's insane. We truly had everyone on our roster, reserve players included, in our lineup at some point in the season to help us get to this point. And so I think that's something that we all really took notice of and was why we got to this point, and it was an extra reason for celebrating this win with everyone.
I mean, it's amazing. And like you said, the adversity that the team faced, but also the path that we talked about at the very start of this episode of how the engine turned on and got bigger and bigger. And you could see it building the second half of the season.
Yeah.
With the victories that you had and the storming to the top of the league and your path to the playoffs. So you win. You got to shake hands. I mean, again, this is where it's like we got an inside view here. What is that problem? One team is devastated. One team is elated. How does that handshake work for you guys?
Yeah, and I know a lot of the girls. Like I was on Ottawa at one point, so a lot of them were my former teammates, either with Team USA or with Ottawa. And so I have a lot of love for a lot of the people on that side. And so some of them wanted hugs and said stuff. Other people were maybe a little more devastated and just couldn't do it at the time, which is completely understandable. But I got to have a lot of great moments with people on that other side. Like Gabby Hughes is one of my best friends. And so she was so gracious. She gave me like the biggest hug, told me she loved me, was happy for me. And she was very gracious to everyone in the line. From other people had mentioned it too. So a shout out to her. She also played incredible the whole series. She has a hard job out there, and she's hard to play against. I haven't had to play against her much. I've been her teammate most of the time. So playing against her was tough. And Proud of how she battled and proud of how she handled it at the end. And yeah, I got to have a special moment with her, which is nice.
So the handshakes finish. They set the stage up, and this is it. Now the moment's happening. The Walter Cup is brought to the ice. You're about to watch Pooh pick up this cup, something that's eluded her, by the way, her entire career.
Yeah.
This was kind of like the last thing on the list that she hadn't won.
Yeah.
I got to frame this question. We've all watched the Walter Cup or the Stanley Cup be lifted, but none of us have been on the ice for that.
Yeah.
I know there's no way you could begin to describe this. All right.
Yeah.
But tell me what it's like to watch Canada's greatest athlete do that.
And surreal, incredible. I mean, again, just with what she was battling and what she faced through, and for her to finally be able to lift that up, because that's the reason she came back. She wanted to win a Walter Cup for Montreal, for the team, for herself, for family. And so to see what she battled through to do that, like we all saw it firsthand. And so to see her do that and like the kind of playoff run that she had, she was incredible. The whole playoffs was, our backbone, obviously our heart. And so you could just see like the elation, the relief, all of it like on her face. And it was special to watch for sure. And we were all just so happy for her and for the team.
Well, and I'll say this about her. You talk about her being injured. 9 games played, playoffs, 8 points.
Like insane.
That's insanity.
Insane.
All right. That's how good she is. And it caps off what, not a career, maybe, I don't know, but it does cap off the everything she ever wanted to win. Now we got to flip this to you too, Hayley. We talked about this before the playoffs a little bit. Not that this is why you were playing, but you accomplished something pretty unique here as the only woman athlete to ever win a gold medal in a Walter Cup in the same year. Is that like when does that come into your mind? Do your teammates know that? Right? Because here's the funny thing: at the broadcast, they were all about it. They kept talking about it on the broadcast. I know you well enough to know that, like in that moment, you're with your team. But that's I mean, talk about surreal. I mean, trailblazing at its best, right? So when you are handed the cup, first off, how heavy is it? Is it heavier than it looks?
It's heavy. I was slightly concerned. I'm like, I hope I have the energy to lift this over my head because that could be embarrassing. But it's heavy.
It's heavy. And then you're lifting that when it's in the air. I'm sure you're looking for your family, you're looking around. I mean, are you reflecting at that moment? Are you trying to take it in? Keeping in mind, it's the second time you've done something like this within a few months.
Yeah. Soaking it in for sure. Family got to come on the ice, which was really nice. But that was later, I think, after we had all lifted the cup and everything like that. So I actually couldn't find them. There were so many fans that stayed. Another shout out to Ottawa. Like they stayed for a while to celebrate the cup. Which was really, it's hard, right? But I think they were just excited to see a Canadian team win it as well, and obviously bummed for their own team. But we had a lot of people who stayed, and then a lot of Montreal fans were there too. So it was really nice to be able to celebrate it with them. And I'm like again, like this is it's just so surreal. It was just so amazing. And like I said, though, it was like a different kind of celebration just because, it was a whole season that led up to this. It was something we didn't know we could dream of that we now can dream of. And that's cool in and of itself. And a part of history, we're the first team other than Minnesota to win it, the first time for Montreal to win it. So there's just all these history pieces that you kind of realize you're a part of. And it's pretty crazy to think about, honestly.
I'll ask this too. I'll phrase it like this. Okay. You're going to be asked, you might have already been asked, hey, what's better, the Olympic gold medal or the Walter Cup championship? I think that's a horrible question, right? They're separate things. I don't think you should have to choose one. That's just the old, like, well, this or that.
Yeah.
This is a question no one's ever been able to be asked before, right? What is winning 2 major championships in literally 1 year, like in the same year?
Yeah.
Not feel like, I mean, you mentioned it, like what are the emotions involved in that? Have you even had enough time to comprehend that, Hayley? Like it's only been really like a week.
A little bit, we've been celebrating like all week with the Walter Cup and stuff, and it's cute. Like I do have teammates who they're like, dude, you won a gold medal and like what? Like that's amazing, you know? And the Canada girls were really sweet about it too. They just said, you know, heck of a year for you. Like
Yeah.
we're
So how
proud
did
of
your
you.
Canadian counterparts
They're,
say
you know,
that?
you can tell it where it comes from, but they just said how proud they were of me and stuff and how excited, you know, as much as they can be excited for me.
Yeah.
So I did appreciate that. But then other girls will say it kind of more quietly or like away from them sort of thing and be all hyped for me, which was nice. But yeah, it's just it's so crazy to me. And it's like, you almost have this, like, you feel like unstoppable, honestly, like in this moment a bit, like confidence is just like skyrocketing. I also felt like it helped me kind of come into my own as a player as well. Like I was already feeling really good like the whole season. And then stacking these wins on top of each other has really helped kind of make me realize like the value that I hold on teams and what I do as a player that helps make teams successful. And that's what I really focused on this year. And it's um not surprising in a way, but like it's cool to see that once I embraced that, like I've won a gold medal and a Walter Cup champ. Like it's nice to see that kind of come to fruition and all of the hard work I've had to up until this point, and then the mindset switch that I've had has helped me kind of realize these two lifelong dreams of mine.
Now, do you get to do a day with the cup?
Yes, I don't know when, and I don't know where I'll be. So
All right.
we'll see when
That's
I get
awesome.
it. But yeah, well, everyone gets like a day or whatever is what
Yeah.
I've heard. So
I have a
Okay,
feeling you'll be in
great.
Buffalo for that
And
one.
now,
Yeah.
and you got to find a way to fit the gold medal in there, I guess, too, as well. So
I'll just wear the gold medal everywhere with Walter.
That's going to be some interesting
Right.
photos. You know,
Very cool.
Hayley, I'll say
Very
this:
cool.
you are the first. In a good way, you will not be the last person,
Right.
but everyone's going to have to wait 4 years to get another shot at that. So like, you know, kind of an eternal joy there to enjoy that. And again, the biggest congratulations to you on that. I also got to say, you know, and we'll do another episode on the manifestation, but we've talked about it, gang. I am a gold medalist. I am a Walter Cup champion is something she was saying well prior to either of those championships happening. I think that there's a lesson there. Hayley, what's the whiteboard going to say now?
We haven't erased the whiteboard yet, so it still says it. So I don't know if we'll ever erase that. I feel like you got to leave it up. I don't know.
I like where your head's at.
Just get a new one. Just get a new one.
Yeah. Entomb the whiteboard inside something. Yeah, it's your lucky life. It's like your lucky whiteboard. You could put some, you know, I am a lottery winner of $12 million. No,
exactly.
Just amazing stuff. Okay, and again, we said it. We're recording this. The parade's tomorrow, but like, can we briefly just walk through the last week? I mean, what I've loved seeing is you and your teammates together every day during the week. You do not want to be apart from each other. I hope that people have been respectful of that space. Right. But you've had a pool party. There's tattoos happening. Talk to me about what you can talk about with the last week, starting with, here's a good question for you.
Yeah.
When did you actually go to sleep after that final? How long were you up for? And I don't mean a nap. How long were you awake before you actually took a good night's sleep after that?
A while. I mean, so the thing is, we went to bed. I probably went to bed at like 3 a.m. We had to leave at 9 a.m. the next morning to get back to Montreal. Our bus kept on that schedule. We were like, come on. But we made it home. I literally napped at home. That's where the picture on my Instagram is from.
Yep.
I napped for a little bit and then went back out. What did we do that night? I'm trying to think. Oh, it was a Montreal Canadiens game.
Yep.
And so this sports bar hosted us, Bruno's. Shout out Bruno's Sports Bar. And it was so much fun. Like they had all these tables set up for us. They had some gifts for us. And then we got to watch the game with some Montreal Canadiens fans. And that's the game they crushed it. Like like so many goals in the first period. And we were all just cheering and singing. And oh my gosh, we had so much fun that night.
The fans were great too to you. That was
yes.
Cool.
Yeah, they were like chanting for a victoire and stuff, which was really cool. And yeah, it was fun to have 2 wins to celebrate that night. And then honestly, every night after that, we did something. So we went to Ann's for the pool party. We did, that was a ton of fun. It was actually a perfect day out too, which was nice. Yep. We, what else did we do? We went to City Hall, which was really cool. We went to a basketball game. We went to the Montreal Canadiens game. We Um, went to the sports bar before the Canadians game. Then let's see, we went to another city hall yesterday. There was 2 city halls to go to. And then we had like a fun team dinner at this really great restaurant that hosted us with the cup and everything last night, which was really fun.
You are the toast of the
Um,
town, and
we
you
really
deserve it.
are. Yep.
Yeah.
And so I don't think there's any plans today. We might be recovering before, maybe some girls will do stuff later tonight, but we have the parade tomorrow morning. So
Well, I want to say this too, talking about women's sports. We are not far removed from a time that none of this would have happened. No games, no parades. You
Yep.
won and you go home.
Yep.
That's also what shows you how the city is embracing you. And look, Montreal, you could say, is started for a championship, but the fact that the Montreal faithful of both teams are open arms right now, and that you won, and again, I keep forgetting you didn't see the broadcast. There was a lot of mentions of, look, this is an all Canadian final. Canada's winning something, right? Which is a pretty big deal when you think about it, Hayley, and you got to be part of that. Just an amazing run. I tell the listeners, we will have one more. I think I said it earlier, day in the life episode, kind of talking about the parade and just kind of closing the 25-26 super season for you, Hayley. But I can't thank you enough for just letting us sit and walk through this with you. My last question, and Mike, if you have one too, just let us know, is that there's always a first quiet moment after a victory like this or a loss. And I'll say the Charge have to go through this too, where it's quiet, there's no one around, and it's just you with your thoughts for the first time. Has that moment happened yet? And where did your mind go?
I don't think it's happened yet, because honestly, all I've been thinking about is like, we're moving out of here. I have to pack, but I want to hang out with all the girls. I don't want to miss anything. And I feel that will come when I get back to Maryland.
Sure.
I feel like I'll actually have time to just like sit and be like, wow, that just happened. Like while I'm here, it's like I'm still in celebration mode. I feel. Which, like, not that I won't be later, but like it's I haven't really had a quiet moment.
I'll tease the next episode, which we'll discuss that at some point. Right? And it also proves, and this is such an important lesson to the young people listening, from your description of lifting the Walter Cup and enjoying that, knowing how to enjoy that. Kids, I think you rush those championships when you're younger. Take a moment and take it in. It's hard to do when you're younger. The truth is, though, when you win, you don't really know if it's going to happen again. That's why it's so important that you take it in and take a moment. The other thing, too, Hayley, that I said this to you before, you're doing this so right, is that you said, I'm still in celebration mode. I'm still in championship mode. The truth is, you have to hold on to that feeling as long as you can, because it's unfortunately not eternal. The moment's eternal. The accolades are eternal. But the experience that you're in right now is not. So I love that you're embracing it, and I hope it lasts for a really long time, because I've said before, not that I've won at the professional level as a player, but having a kid really is the only comparable thing I've ever been able to feel to what I felt when I won championships. And that's saying something. So, amazing stuff. In the next episode, we will go over that parade. We will also talk about what is going to be a crucial offseason, the PWHL, with 4 expansion teams coming in, the largest draft class in history. We were talking to Hayley a little bit before the show about how contracts work. We're going to have to do some more research on that, because none of us are really 100% sure. But the PWHL going into one of the most important off seasons that they're probably ever going to have. That's going to set up the future of the league for several seasons. But today was all about you, Hayley, and celebrating. I cannot thank you enough for sharing this experience with us, not just today, but the entire season. Mike said it earlier. When we reached out to you to be on this podcast, you might have known this was the direction you're going. But we just loved your vibe and who you were as a person and the type of quality person that you were. I don't think in our wildest dreams did we think this is what was going to happen until you told us it was going to happen.
Well, thank you. It's been so much fun. It's really cool to kind of have like the journey recorded in a sense, and to see kind of how far I've come this year and from last season and everything. So it's been an honor, and I love it, and can't wait to continue sharing.
Mike, any final thoughts before I close this out?
No, I was just going to say, we took her actual time that she could have been reflecting and thinking about the season away from her and making her share it with a couple of thousand people. So we appreciate it. And I think, but I do think it's so, and it is an interesting, it's really great that you've documented this little journey here. And, and other athletes are going to benefit from this. The future of players that, want to learn and take, all the nuggets of the information that came about over the last months, is going to be beneficial to, thousands of young hockey players. And I think that's such an awesome thing.
Thanks.
And in the next episode, we'll teach you how to celebrate correctly. All right. That's going to do it for this championship day in the life, Our Girls Play Hockey episode with Hayley Scamurra. Hayley's going to be with us all summer, gang. Don't worry. We won't let her off the hook that easy with a lot of different episodes about skill work and obviously what it's like to be a pro in the off season, so forth and so on. So thank you for following us. But for Hayley Scamurra and Mike Benelli, I'm Lee Elias. We will see you on the next episode of Our Girls Play Hockey. Feel free to email. I'll open it up now. Email us any questions you have at team@ourkidsplayhockey.com or send us a message at the link accompanying the episode, and we'll put some stuff out on social media as well. But everybody, take care. Have fun. Gold medal edition, Walter Cup edition, Our Girls Play Hockey. We'll see you next time. We hope you enjoyed this edition of Our Kids Play Hockey. Make sure to like and subscribe right now if you found value wherever you're listening, whether it's a podcast network, a social media network, or our website, ourkidsplayhockey.com. Also, make sure to check out our children's book, When Hockey Stops, at whenhockeystops.com. It's a book that helps children deal with adversity in the game and in life. We're very proud of it. But thanks so much for listening to this edition of Our Kids Play Hockey, and we'll see you on the next episode.